Good morning. It's about maybe 7 something in the morning, and I'm just making me a little nibble. I have zero interest in eating, so I'm really not sure what I'm going to cook today, but I am preparing. I have my knife ready for my onions and everything, and maybe I'll cook something, maybe I won't, but if I don't feel like it, I'm not. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing great. Absolutely. As you all know, I'm not a fan of coffee, but I have mastered this amazing taste that I want. So I just dropped in a little bit of coffee, and in this container, I have French vanilla and hazelnut, and of course, you know I like dessert. And then for breakfast, I'm going to eat some oatmeal. I actually wanted to get the one you cook on the stove, but I didn't. Mm. Good morning, Beverly. I saw your comment. It was okay. Everything's in there. This coffee, if I got it right, it's gonna be beautiful. Now, yesterday I made a meal, and that was the only meal I had all day. Actually, I went to bed about nine at night, which is quite beautiful, right? I must tell you. I don't know what has been going on, but ever since I have been relaxing more and getting off of social media, off of out of my craft room, oatmeal 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Coffee 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tea 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. Okay, y'all just confused me. I'm not used to making my oatmeal, but I do know I need this in my oatmeal. I do know I need that. I don't actually remember if I put sugar in my oatmeal, so I have to taste that. I am almost positive I do, but I do. 1, 2. I'm messed up because this morning I'm so excited. So excited. And I can't remember my beautiful. It's perfect. My coffee. My coffee I actually let dissolve, and I have it throughout the day. It doesn't have to be right now. It just needs to be prepared. It just needs to be prepared. Yesterday I made some lemonade, and I left it on the counter. I put the packet in, mixed it around, left it on the counter for maybe about an hour. When I came back, it was so beautiful. And then when I put it in the refrigerator, it tastes so much better because I let the room temperature take care of the rest. I don't know how to explain it. I might sound like a weirdo, but we already know I am. I actually took out some pork chops. I'm putting some lemon curd on my toast, and I'm absolutely in love with this lemon curd. I saw someone yesterday post on Facebook. She went to Aldi looking for this, and she can't find it. I was like, ooh, I wonder if you were at the same Aldi I went to, because I sure as hell took as many as I could. Yes, I did. And then throughout the day, I have some butter crackers because I love that butter. Aldi butter on all these saltines. Oh my goodness. I have to wipe the edges of my my jar. You know what? That's funny, but I was laughing a couple days ago because boys and girls, I be hearing this little mouse in the night uh, trying to get in. Baby, please, I'm not having that up in here. And I jumped out of my bed about 3:19 in the morning. I got my peppermint spray, and I was in every room around here like this. I'm in the garbage. Now I have to laugh at myself sometimes because I do so much preventive measures in here to keep that foolishness out of here. But ooh, I saw this video. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm, mm. Now my oatmeal, my coffee, my toast will sit right here on this counter. Mm, mm. And I'm going to my craft room to work on some fun. Mm, mm, mm. When I do my breakfast, lunch, whatever, and I leave it on the counter, it reminds me of how I did when my daughter was younger. That's one of the reasons why I never really had to hear my daughter cry for hunger, because I had a little table, a cute little table, little chairs. I used to cut up apples, tomatoes, oranges, everything, and put little bowls on the table so that she could have something to nibble throughout the day. I would make my dinner, breakfast, those type of things, but it never dawned on me. But there were some times that I thought something was wrong with my daughter because she wasn't a crier. And then I realized later on when I was talking to my doctor, the reason why she didn't cry a lot is because I prevented a lot of those tears by doing some of the things I did. So one of the things that bothers me now is my stomach doesn't growl, so I don't know what hunger feels like. And then sometimes I feel a certain type of way, like my stomach is on fire and burning, but my doctor tells me that that's fibromyalgia. So, I actually don't know when I'm actually hungry. I just know when I eat to the point where I forget that I'm human and I eat like an animal. I try to eat the whole damn plate and not be thankful that I had provision. That's when I know I'm starving. But I don't want to do that. Mm, 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 mm. I'm trying to take out. I took out some pork chops already. I I still don't have the desire to cook them, so I may have to throw them back in the freezer or take them to a neighbor. I have some ground beef in the refrigerator. I actually want a cheeseburger. I just don't feel like making it, so I don't know what I'm going to do. And then today I saw someone's meal. She mixed pork and beef together, and I actually see a meal I would enjoy. Pork, the sausage, the ground beef, peppers, onions, that mix up, put some potatoes in it. I think I can eat that today. I really do. Mm, mm, mm. I make sure every day I eat my walnuts now. It said 3 walnuts a day helps your memory. I can promise you that they do help. But I'm actually dealing with a health issue, and I need to make an appointment with a doctor. And maybe today I will stop saying I'm going to make an appointment and just go ahead and make it. I was actually trying to work on finding a way to resolve the issue on my own because you know I'm a grinder like that. But this issue, I need doctor. I need a doctor, and it's actually an eye doctor. Mm 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 mm. Well, thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting. Don't forget, thumbs down and thumbs up helps your channel. Don't forget engagement. That's all you have to focus on. But I'm going to tell you something that's really funny. Now, it may not be funny to some, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Yesterday, I was on Facebook, and I don't know who it was, but it was someone on my YouTube channel, and I want to say thank you. I don't know who you are, though. I don't remember. It could be Coral, but I don't want to be a liar. So, yesterday and the last few days, I was on Facebook, and I took some time to remove and do a lot of blocking. I realized that there were a lot of people watching my Facebook, my YouTube that I have actually no contact with. So I started, one of the easiest methods is when it's someone's birthday and I'm looking like, I don't see you in my notifications. And someone on Facebook said she has been cleaning up her Facebook, and what has helped her clean up her Facebook was her notifications. And it never dawned on me. So I started to just continue to laugh, joke, whatever on Facebook. And then it dawned on me, your notifications show you who's active on your page. So although my page is monetized, I don't believe I will ever earn on Facebook. That is not my agenda. But there is no reason why I would be on Facebook with the opportunity to monetize and not have my channel on professional mode. It doesn't make sense. So for the last few days, I have been going through the birthdays when it says someone's birthday. If the person is not someone that is in my notifications, I have been unfollowing and blocking. So yesterday, I think I blocked about 25 people that live in this town that I live in, and uh, I was absolutely happy because two of them were my very best friends in high school, and I said to myself, we have no contact. Now, when we see each other outside, we do the cordial thing, laugh, joke, whatever the case may be. But it really does make a difference when you see. No, 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 no. Okay, about two of them were my very best friends in high school, but a lot of people that I have blocked and removed, I went to actual elementary school with, and I saw some of them, and I'm like, wow, we don't even say hello. You understand what I'm saying to you? We don't even say hello. So why are we following each other? Why are we in each other's business? You understand what I'm saying? So I was thankful because someone on this channel mentioned that they had taken a step back from social media, and then that has helped me. So this morning when I was on Facebook, someone's birthday, and I looked and it's someone that I don't have any contact with. So of course I did the next best thing, and I unfollowed and then I blocked. Now I have recently learned that block is not a disrespectful feature. It's a beneficial feature because if you have someone blocked, that means you don't want them to have access to you. And that's it. And it's easy to say just walk away from someone, but it doesn't mean that you don't like them. You know, it just means you need a clear line, and it means no access. So today I'm going to be in my craft room because I'm going to do more of what I love, and then I'm going to go back to Facebook and start removing. So now I have gained, over the last 3 to 4 days, I have gained 5 new followers, and they're strangers. And guess what? I have more in common with them than I do with anyone that I blocked. So in that, someone that I recently blocked, and I am so thankful because I have been praying, honey. I have been praying up in here, and I realized that sometimes you don't have to be angry with someone. You just have to know that they have expired uh, access to your life in the current state of where you're trying to go. So someone called me on my phone, and we were, laughing and joking or whatever. And then they asked me a question, and I stopped for a minute, and I had to ask myself, what was the purpose of the question? So then when I answered to the best of my ability in honesty. That's the only thing I could do. And then the person said, oh, and that was it. So after that phone call, I blocked them. I blocked, unfollowed, everything. And the reason why is because I figured out the question came from a conversation they had with someone else that needed that question answered. But the person that they must have been talking to has zero access to me. So I was so thankful. I said, you know what? God provides. God provides in ways that we don't realize. We just have to stop, look, and listen. So I listened to the question, and when I hung up the phone, I said, now what was the purpose of that person asking me the question? Because that person had access to me. So I am feeling so freaking good, boys and girls, so good. I have been doing a massive amount of parenting to my 31-year-old child, and I am so thankful. I have done nothing but shed tears with pride because of what my daughter has been going through. I have been saying to my daughter for a long time, baby, people, places, and things. And I cannot believe, and I can't say anything, and I know she's not watching this video right now, but my daughter has been home in the comfort of her walls for a few days. And I'm so proud of her because there is something that is so, like, my daughter can't understand why I don't need outside. She doesn't understand because she needs outside. But I had to explain to her because she just went through something very hard. She actually went through something very hard because of someone that was in her life, and it was a friend of hers. But I explained to her, in order for you to be a really good friend, you have to walk away now. You have to walk away. And she cried and cried. And I kid you not, boys and girls, when you hear your child cry because of kindness, because they want to help someone else, and a helper like me, a fixer like me, clean them up like me, it was hard for me to tell her, but I had to tell her, I said, baby, one of these days you're going to realize why your mama doesn't want any friends. I don't, it is not a matter of wanting and needing and having, none of that. I explained to my daughter, want is a blessing. Need can be a downfall. It can be a downfall. So my daughter is absolutely not even realizing what I have been telling her. And one of the things that Coral taught me that I am thankful for is sometimes my daughter just needs me to listen. So the other day, my daughter called me and she was talking about this said person that she wants to help and all the other things. And I was kind of mad at Coral. I'm not gonna lie to you, but Coral's my bestie. Coral is basically the person that I am bonded to Coral as if I am DNA connected to Coral because the only thing Coral has for me is love. And that's it. She tells it to me as I need to hear it, and it's in truth, and that's it. I'm a Libra, so no matter what you say to me, just tell me the truth. Your delivery matters, but I don't need all the feelings. So my daughter was talking to me, and I was sitting down just crying and thanking God, and my hand was in the air and on my chest, and I'm listening, and I could hear myself want to say, and I'm like, shut up, just listen. So then she said to me, you don't even want to give me any advice. And that's what I needed to listen for. She was asking, and I had to step in and I had to deliver. So I had to let her know that the person she was talking to on the phone at that moment was her mother. And that's it. That's it. I said, if you can't take this advice as a child from a mother, then you don't want advice from me because I am only your mother. So she said, what would you do? That was when God answered my prayers because sometimes she needs to stop and realize who she's speaking to so she can get the answer that she needs. So I said to her, I would walk away. And I said I wouldn't walk away in anger. I wouldn't walk away in hate. I would walk away in love. Because when a person chooses under full accountability wrong, then the outcome and the consequences, they choose that as well. And you have to let them have the outcome and the opportunity to deal with the aftermath on their own. That is why it may sound strange, but I love karma. Even when karma steps on my front door, absolutely on my front door, because it reminds me and it keeps me focused that there is something working in my life. So I am so thankful. I've been doing a lot of Beverly, girl, get to work. Get to work. Wow. I love Beverly. Every day she greets me with kindness. Every single day. But I kid you not, I have been doing a lot of moving and shaking in here. I ordered a second deep freezer, and my little bit of cuteness is right here in my living room. I have nothing on my mind for that deep freezer other than my pizza and my sausage from Aldi. So on one half of the deep freezer, the sausage is just building, and the other side is all my pizza I've been cutting up. I love pizza. I love pizza. So that's what I have been doing. I cannot imagine feeling as good as I feel today. I kid you not. I don't want to do YouTube anymore. I've been moving and shaking away from YouTube. The only reason why I came back and started cooking was because I had got maybe 2 or 3 messages from YouTube viewers, and I'm going to explain something to you as gently as I could without sounding like I have anything to be upset about, because I don't. I have learned to count my blessings. Now, blessings are not always good things. Blessings are things that come into your life to show you where you are in a person's life. Now, I actually turned off my cell phone yesterday, but my phone has been off for a few days. My ringer is always down because I don't need the nonsense. I don't need whatever. But I was so thankful. I realized that someone that has no access to me has been violating me, but they have been violating me to the point where they're helping me. So I didn't want to say anything on my YouTube channel, and I really have to be careful what I say because I don't want to lose said person. So um, I did tell a few people in Facebook that are on my channel, and I said, just look out, and they see what I see. But I wish I was able to say what I want to say because it would help other YouTubers, especially people with small channels like me. So if I never get a paycheck from YouTube, YouTube has helped me in tremendous ways. So when I say not everything is about money, not everything's about money. I am thankful for a lot of things. And one of the things that I'm thankful for is I accept people for who they are. And that's it. That's it. I made a grave mistake. I made a grave mistake. And I didn't know how to handle the revelation of this mistake. So I sat in this house, and the only thing I talked to was, only person, thing, whatever I talked to was God. I said, I don't need any friends. I don't need any friends because people laugh in your face and they giggle with you and everything. But a person who loves you will never see you in pain. And that's the simple matter of it. A person who will listen to you when you're going through whatever you're going through, you have to stop and ask yourself why they're listening. What is it that they're listening for? Is it because they're giving you an open ear, or they're feeding back some of your, or they're feeding you? So I sat here, and it hit me that I learned something that was not mine to learn. It was someone else's, and someone used me as the driving force, and I can only be thankful now. It ended up to where someone else had to pay the piper, not me, someone else. But I am so thankful in ways that no one could understand because God removed that person from my life. And I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything to the person. I have no reason to be, facetious or anything like that. So I absolutely realized that in that moment, God helped me realize that they were not for me. So when I say I'm living in my best right now, I'm living in my best. One of the things that I am really happy for is Wayfair. It's Wayfair. I'm looking right now. I have a coffee table right here that someone is picking up, and some chairs over there. But sometimes God answers your prayers when you don't realize it. And I don't want anyone to take me away from what I am doing because my purpose is going to stay the same. It's going to stay the same. I woke up on Valentine's morning and I had the best Valentine's ever. The best Valentine's ever. But I'm going to tell you what happened to me on Valentine's Day. I got a Facebook call, and I wasn't near my phone, obviously, and my phone wasn't in the same room I was in either. I absolutely like to do that on purpose, removing my phone from the room that I'm in because I'm not into phones like that. So I missed the call, but the person that called me has not been in my home in a few weeks. So there goes that. And then I ended up with a message on something else that I'm not usually on. So I saw it and I'm like, oh, okay. And they wanted to come over. So I said at that point, I could use some company. But then I said to myself, okay, this is Valentine's Day. Most cheaters are home on Valentine's Day because that's why Valentine's Day has never been any holiday for me because I got roses, I got candy, I got everything on Valentine's Day from the person who always hurt me the most. So anyone who loves me knows not to bring me flowers. Flowers don't mean anything to me, and I absolutely am thankful that people who know me know don't bring me flowers. So this person wanted to come over on Valentine's. Now, Valentine's to me was just a normal day. And yeah, I could have used a visit that day, but not because it was February 14th. But the reason why that person could not come to my house is because they wasn't trying to come to my house on the 13th of February. So I always say the 13th of February, but when I use the term the 13th of February, I don't actually mean literally the 13th. I mean any day before the 14th. So if you were not here, now this person actually had full access and still has full access to come here. But the bottom line is sometimes I have to say people, places, and things. Why do you want to come today? Isn't today your wife's day? Isn't today your wife's day? Why do you want to come here to see me? But I didn't stop and play in the sandbox to ask why you wanted to come here and say to me. I just said I was sleeping. And he said, okay. And that was it. I have a sleeping condition. I sleep a tremendous amount more than I wish I needed. But I realized that I might need to sleep more than I want to sleep. But I said I was sleeping, and that was the end of it. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm sleeping. So sleeping is what I'm going to say. And it removes me from having to explain myself. But said person that asked to come over for Valentine's, I'm going to see to it that the next time they see me, I go to them and I see them in my car. We will sit down and converse in my car. I don't actually need a visit. So I'm thankful. But I want to go back to my daughter for a minute. I had to explain to my daughter that I taught her from young. I said, baby, you come from a different background. I said, no matter who you have access to on the street, you have to remember what you were brought up with. And you were not brought up with everyone you hang with need to see the color of your floor. And that's it. So when you meet these friends, meet them in the street, but don't bring them home. Don't bring them home. And I kid you not, I am thankful for in ways that you have no idea. This morning I woke up and I was sitting at my computer desk and I just put my hand on my chest and I realized how thankful I am. I made a massive mistake a few months ago, and I know some of y'all watch my channel, saw me take a ride somewhere, and someone messaged me yesterday about said ride, and I'm thankful that she even mentioned said ride because I saw someone's pictures yesterday. She met someone on Facebook, and somehow she ended up with her face cut under her chin, whatever the case may be. And she didn't set out to get that to happen to her. She thought she was, putting herself in a place to meet people and all that other stuff. And I am so thankful in ways because I could have ended up in a really bad way. And I would have ended up in a really bad way because I just happened to be one of those females that will fucking fight to the bitter end. I will never, never, as long as God give me breath, let a man put his hands on me and I not fight him back. He would have to kill me. He would literally have to kill me. But I am equipped with something that my mother did to me, which I told her a couple of days ago that she ruined her children because she made sure we defended ourselves. We couldn't let anyone bully us. And I even told my daughter a few weeks ago, I wish I didn't teach her to defend herself because now she's just one place away from being handcuffed for the rest of her life. And we don't need to be handcuffed for the rest of our life because we defend ourselves. On Facebook, whenever this woman, I won't say describe her, but clearly she was of a background where people walk away. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. Sometimes you can't walk away because the more you walk away, the more that bully come after you. And this person broke down and said, her child was going to school and she didn't know what to do because she kept saying, tell somebody, tell somebody. Well, guess what? I told the woman, I said, honey, you're not going to want to hear this, but I'm going to give it to you just like you need to hear it. I said, you teach your daughter to close her eyes and swing until the cops come. Don't make nobody make her stop. And I told her, I said, as God is my witness, you do not want to hear someone tell you to tell your child to go outside and swing. That's what she has to do. But this time, I want you to listen very carefully. Tell her to close her eyes and swing, and don't stop swinging until the cops come. And that's exactly what this child did. I think this child was about 8 years old, coming home from school being bullied. And I kid you not, I can only imagine what that long blonde hair must look like being pulled by people, savages. I kind of wish my daughter went to a school with a certain dynamic of people. She would have set some standards right off the rip. You don't try me this way. But this person had to do it, and she did it. She told her daughter, she said, if said people, because bullies usually come in groups. So that's why I say swing, because 9 times out of 10, all of them are around waiting for this antagonization from this person, and this person. So when you start swinging, you're fucking them all up. So she did it, but guess what? They don't bother her daughter anymore. And I had to tell her, I said, now remind yourself to teach your daughter not to go out there and start trouble with people. But I have been teaching my daughter to walk away. And when I say walk away, I'm going to give you a good example. If you and your girlfriends are somewhere and you have this one friend that open her mouth and want to chat up fuckery and come and get people to come up to you, that's the friend you walk away from. You don't walk away after. You walk away right when she does it. Right when she does it. So my daughter went somewhere and she was a ways from home, and said person just in there, and people and she said she walked right out, but somebody ended up shot on the floor. You don't know who has what in their disposal, and that girl, my daughter, is hurt because the person ended up in a bad way, and she knew the person. She knew the person. So I'm going to tell you, I don't need any friends. I don't need any friends. I would want some. I would want some. But no. Because a lot of things I realized, and I had to call my mother a few days ago. I hadn't talked to my mother. I really haven't talked to anyone. I did turn on this phone because there is a sweet man that I have access to. And I have asked this man to block me. He will not block me. He either has something he's planning in a way of revenge, or he's taking time to heal. But I have access to that person, and that's the person I have been texting. And I'm thankful that I have access to that. Mm, 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 mm. Oatmeal is delicious. Mm. That is cinnamon. No, that's maple and brown sugar with my creamer. So during the process of what I've been going through, I had to stop and ask myself some questions. So about 2 days ago, I spent time in here. I took my vinegar and stuff and I sprayed my walls, and I was washing my walls. And while I was washing my walls, I said, I take full accountability for my actions. I take full accountability for everything that I had control of. And I just cleaned the walls, and I came over here to the stove and I started spraying the walls. And then I started telling God, I said, whatever your karma is for me, I accept it with full love, no hate, no nothing. Started cleaning my stove. Next thing you know, I went to the door, started spraying the door, and all I could do is love myself. You want to know why? I suffer from depression. Okay, I'll answer that in a little while. I suffer from depression. I suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. I have literally been through some of the worst trauma that people will never heal from. I was in this bathroom, locked in that bathtub because someone did something to me in here so bad and left me in such a condition. But I didn't say anything because I knew the trauma that I went through would come back to me because where I live, people have a tendency of glorifying negative before they glorify positive. And I had to hold that and deal with that on my own. So I'm in here and I said to myself, okay, now the stigma against depression is when you walk in your house, you see everything all over the floor, and this is because you don't feel a certain type of way. And I said, God, if I have to suffer with depression for the rest of my life, I will accept that. And I do accept it. It is what it is. But whatever you do, make sure I never lose love for my home. And that's it. When I am in my home and I'm washing my cabinets and I'm doing this and I'm doing this, the only thing I'm doing is loving my home. That's it. And if that's the magic to get me to where I have to be, then it's going to be what it gets me to where I have to be. I have to soothe my own wounds. I have to take care of myself. So it is what it is. A man came into my home recently. I think he was from the nursing people, one of them agencies. I've had no social company, so when I say that, and he stopped and he looked around, and I felt a little uneasy because he was looking around. I'm like, does he have a camera? Is he going to say I'm hiding millions? Whatever the case may be, because I don't have it. I don't have it, boys and girls. So he just looked at me and he said, your home is beautiful. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And then I said, but I just want you to know, just about everything in this living room is free. It's free. I don't have any money. I don't want nobody to walk up in here with no gun trying to get no dollars out of here because I might have one or two, but this home was furnished free. So all he could do is say how he loved my home. And yesterday I was going to dispose of something brand new, but I don't actually have room for everything that's in here. So this woman was in the elevator and she said, oh, and she was looking and she touched it and she said, this is so beautiful. I said, I'm on my way to throw it out. She said, I will pay you for that. She said, I gotta take my, so I said, okay, we're gonna do this. She said, can you please go to, and I said, and I told her where I live. So I checked my mailbox 10 o'clock last night, throwing something out, and I had 2 packages downstairs. Said bitch that is stealing my packages, that I believe I know who's stealing my packages, and I'm going to say it again, said bitch. And I already told someone that I believe I know who's stealing my packages. I told the building manager, I told everybody, not the building manager, but somebody who works for the building. And it's because I'm very aware of my surroundings. And even if I don't know who it is, I know who knows who it is. So, matter of fact, hold on a minute. Yeah! Yes, God. See, this is why sometimes you need to talk. Let me see what time it is. It's 9:43. I'm gonna call my building manager. I'm going to not ask for the person in charge of this building. I want the person in charge of the person who's in charge of this building. Why? Because even if I don't know who is stealing my packages, I know who knows who's stealing my packages. So that's where I have to start. So I just plugged up my phone. Please don't let this phone ring. I don't want to hear any phone ringing. I don't want to hear anything. I'm not expecting any packages. Don't knock on my door and none of that. I just need to be in here loving up on myself. But I said to myself a few weeks ago, I am almost positive I know who's stealing my packages. But I haven't seen anything from inside of my package on said person, and that's because it's winter time. It's winter time, but I'm very, very, very open to looking when it gets springtime. And I kid you not, I've done everything I could to cover my fall. And that's in my YouTube videos, that's in my Facebook, my everything. And if I see said person with anything from my package and that I know, the only thing I'm going to do is dial 911. I'm going to speak to the matter, and that person's going to have to show their receipts. My receipts are on my computer. That's why I like to do everything through my computer. So even if I don't want to be that person to save receipts, my receipts are on my computer. I don't care what you do on your computer. Data will never lie. Never lie. You could be bothering somebody through the computer and they not know how to find you. Data will find you, and I'm that bitch, honey. Yes, I is. So I'm going to make a call at 10 o'clock, and I'm going to let the person know that I cannot prove anything that I'm saying, but I need you to take a step back and just piece together logic. That's it. I could sound like a weirdo to you. I'm going to ask the person, just stop and look at logic. That's it. Because I am almost positive that the person that I believe is stealing my packages, I may not ever be able to prove until the weather changes and coats and everything come off. But the person who knows who's stealing the packages, trust me, that's the person I'm going for. Because when you do what you need to do sometimes, you can't point the finger and say, I know, I don't know. I think I know. All you need is a place to start. I think. So today I plan on staying in here, but I may venture out of my apartment, maybe just to take a walk down the stairs, through the lobby, out the front door, maybe around the corner and back. But I am going to make it very clear because we all have to live in this community together. I went to someone's house a few days ago, and the person was complaining, oh, I'm sick and tired of this, and this. We got children in the building, and I had to let her know, stop, with other people. Concern yourself with you and what matters to you. Everyone else has to take care of themselves. Now, if this is how you're feeling, put it in writing. Don't put your name on it. Don't put in a return address. Just drop it to the building owner. That's it. People don't want to be the person to drop the dime on somebody. Don't drop the dime on somebody. Just put the letter in writing. Don't put your name on it. Don't put a return address. And make sure whatever you do, you're not doing it out of hate. You're not doing it out of facetious matters, because then you have to open yourself up to accountability to deal with karma. And the reason why I'm making this phone call, for one reason and one reason only, the person is normally jolly around me. This person is no longer jolly around me. They have a look of guilt, but they did nothing to me. That means that they know something they wish they did not know. So you don't ever have to worry about me asking. You're going to pay the piper one way or the other, because someone's going to knock on your door and accuse you of something you didn't do. And to defend yourself, you're going to have to unearth who it is that did it. Oh, that oatmeal's good. I have to say, yesterday I sat in my room and I did a pair of earrings and a bracelet, and Beverly left me a comment this morning. When I saw the little light, I thought I was signed into my food channel, but I wasn't signed into my food channel. But it is what it is. I applied for this handmade selling site more than 8 days ago, and to be considered able to sell on this platform, you have to have a YouTube channel. So I was thankful I had a YouTube channel. So I sent in my thing, and I still haven't gotten a approval or a denial, but I'm waiting to see, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But it is what it is. This video is 50 minutes and 13 seconds, and I did not even think I would even show my face on this video. I do not want to be on YouTube anymore. I don't believe that I have a place on YouTube anymore, but I'm going to do the one thing that God keeps forcing me to do, and that is show up. That is show up. And I'm going to say something that I know someone is going to be sad to hear, but the truth is the truth. I tried to commit suicide a few weeks ago, and I prayed before I did it. I told God that I am not sorry, because I am 56 years old and I did not want to live past 50. I knew that from I was a child, and I gave myself a deadline. I did not want to live past 50. Now, as you look in my face, you don't see anyone who's sad. I just told you I was happy. So there is nothing to be sad about. There comes a time when a person is just tired. It's just tired. And one of the things that I have realized over the last few days and weeks is that my freaking bed is comfortable. I kid you not. My freaking bed is comfortable. When I wrap around in that bed with my teddy bear, I am so comfortable. So comfortable to the point that I turn on Tubi and I am engrossed in Tubi. And I'm like, I didn't used to like Tubi. Now, there's someone that I absolutely adore that loves Tubi. So although we have no speaking right now, although I might have got a text here and there, but we're in badness right now. Basically, I'm on pow pow shake shake pow pow. So I was watching something on Tubi, and I messaged said person to watch because said person loves Tubi. So I'm laying in bed and I'm watching this show, and I'm like, I used to love Lifetime. Lifetime was the hit at one time. But now I notice that Tubi is moving away from those hood rat type of movies. I don't like stuff like that. I don't want that on my TV. There's some things I don't want to give ratings to. I'm not going to put that on my TV. So I noticed that Tubi's doing a wonderful job of getting some messages across to people in some of these shows. And I watched a series, I think for 2 days, and I love series, boys and girls. A lot of people don't, because they don't want to keep. I love cliffhangers. So when I tell you that Tubi had me crying up in here, because I'm like, wow. And I did a shirt that says something about tears or blessings. I absolutely love that shirt, because crying comes from feeling. So I'm not sad that I cry almost every day. I did not cry yesterday. Even though I tried, I couldn't. The tears would not fall. That's because I was just too damn happy. So it is what it is. But I was watching this show, and I'm laying in my bed. I'm like, oh my goodness. This guy and this girl, they were arguing. She was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm sick and tired. And I'm looking at her like, this man loves you, and you just can't shut up and stop yelling. And I'm like, girl, get in the house. And just looking. And at the very end of the show, she was thinking and wishing in a state of her future, not right now. And I'm like, see, now this is where the magic happens, because a lot of people are living for right now. Like, this is but I sit down and say, I'm 56 now. What do I want when I'm 80? That's my focus. Every time I think of a certain dynamic in my life, I always use the age of 80. And the reason why is because a lot of people at 70, if you took away their looks and the access to eyeballs and seeing, their body has the capacity to still have some youth in it. So with everything that I'm doing to help myself get off of prescription medication, I'm noticing that I have my life back. I'm not saying I'm 110% better, but I'm damn sure doing great. So it is a blessing. And then when I saw that on the movie, on the show yesterday, all I could do was cry because I said, somebody is listening. Someone's listening. You don't even have to speak sometimes. Okay, I was in my mother's house and I'm just looking, and I was talking to my mother about something that I recently went through. And I said to my mother, I said, I can't imagine how this could have happened because I'm listening and I'm going back to maybe a year ago, and I'm like, this. So I didn't say anything. My mother was looking at me and she just tilted her head. So I stopped talking because I knew at that moment she was speaking. So I came home and I sat down and I'm doing all my stuff, minding my business, and I'm like, wait a minute. And one of the things I noticed is that I had a very bad childhood, very bad childhood. I hated my mother for many years, but I realized in the coming years that my mother has been teaching every single day, every single day. And I told my mother a few days ago, I said, you know, I don't like you, right? She said, why? What did I do? I said, because you helped me get through the storm I just went through. So she said, well, what do you mean? I said, because you said something to me that you don't realize you said. And then she said, me? Me? And, you know, she need a beating. That's what she needs. So somebody get up and go beat that lady. So I told her, I said, Mom, how could I go from this state of mind to this state of mind when this, and this? And she simply said, someone said something to you. And then it happened because I realized it a few days prior to that moment. So I messaged someone of sweetness, and I said, I need you to know that someone is, and I messaged and I left a message. So people need time and space to get through what they need to get through. My only thing is, don't fuck with me, because I'm gonna come for you the same way you come for me. You're just not gonna see me coming. That's it. And I am so sorry. But I got a text from someone that said, truly sorry. I didn't see the word truly. I saw the word sorry. But the sorry I expected about 2 weeks before I got it. But when I saw the truly, that's when it made me realize that what I was going through, I wasn't going through alone. Now, I'm going to tell you something that you're probably wondering, but if you didn't watch the video where I was sleeping, I'm going to tell you now why I did the video. I absolutely feel someone. I feel someone that is suffering, and the person is not able to speak right now because their suffering is really bad. But I feel said person suffering, and I feel the person suffering when I'm in the shower. I came from my room and saw, and I'm in here alone, just want you to know, but I am a Libra, and Libras have a certain thing. I was in my living room and I saw the person sitting where they would normally sit, and they were crying. And I felt the person crying. I've literally been at my stove cooking, and I feel the person crying. And I have to stop my YouTube channel. But I'm going to do the best I can to move from this because this is not easy to deal with. I was sleeping a few times and I woke up crying because I feel the person suffering in their sleep. When I tell you a person can be sorry and you never know it, but a Libra can know that they're sorry and they will feel it. And I was in here cursing God because I wish I wasn't a Libra. And that's why I don't want Libra friends. And I would never date a person who's a Libra. Because if I'm in here dealing with something and I need silence to deal with what I'm dealing with, that Libra would feel me suffering and they would make me speak about whatever it is when I wasn't ready to speak about it. So time and space heals. Time and space heals. But I I wake up every morning to greet Miranda. I speak to Miranda all through the day and tell Miranda how much I love Miranda. When I need a hug, I pick up Miranda and walk around my home because Miranda is an emotional support doll. So there are times that you need to find something that works for you. I go to bed every single night with a teddy bear. That teddy bear is the person that I love the most in this world. That teddy bear's name on YouTube is Cutie. But when I'm in here by myself, that teddy bear goes by a different name. Sometimes you have to use whatever you have to use to get you through the day. And I call it delusional because it's not delusional, but it's what someone else would call it because they don't understand people, places, and things. That's why I said someone that comes here, there's about 3 to 4 people that come here, and when they come here, they go straight for Miranda. They pick Miranda up, they sit down, they hold her. There's a person that comes here just to sit down and look at the living room. No other reason but the comforts of here versus what they're going through in their own home. And I had to stop the person from coming here because if this person would just do the right thing and part ways from the torture that they don't want to sleep next to at night, but they're sleeping next to the person because it's shelter. It's shelter. But they're not happy. They come here for a few minutes of relief, sometimes lay on the floor and go to sleep, and I'm not letting that happen anymore. I'm not going to enable someone to continue to do because I explained to the person, you may think you're suffering, but the person that you're sleeping next to still has a whole lot of life left, which means that's not your person and you're not theirs. So set them free so they can get a life and you can find yours because what you're doing is wrong. That's complete selfishness. So I had to remove access to my home from said person, and it wasn't out of spite, but sometimes you have to say to yourself, you have to think about the other person, and this person knows me and she believes I am a threat to her. But if she actually knew how much I have helped her, but the person only keeps saying, where am I supposed to go? You shouldn't be holding hostage someone else's life when they have a whole lot of years left. I don't even think the person is 50 yet. So that'll just give you a little understanding. I'm 56, and I could walk out that door right there, right now, and meet the best man of my life. But that's not the person for me. So it is what it is. But I digress. But Coral, I'm going to say this, and I'm saying it in my video, but I want you to understand something. Now, I had a very good man in my life for many years. This man would do anything for me. And I always say no, because I'm not the person that you need to put things on. I don't need you to buy me a pocketbook and all that other. I don't want any of that stuff. The only thing this person can help me do is get into a store. That's it. Because he has a lot of businesses. One of the things that makes me laugh about this person, if you go into their house, okay, let me give it to you like this so you can understand. It's really funny. They have these videos of these people that go in somebody's house and see their mattress on the floor and be like, oh, look at this MF, he took me here, he ain't got his life. Well, if you go up in this person's house, that's exactly where their mattress is, on the floor. But this person is more than a millionaire. And me and him laughed in here a few weeks ago. And I told him, because he loves my apartment. He walked through, he go all up in the bathroom. He be in the craft room. He be everywhere in here. And he just cannot get enough of walking all through here. He puts his videos on, and I don't know what he says because he has a different nationality. And he'll be showing a bit, and I'm like, oh, that drives me crazy when he does that, because I don't know if he's telling people to come in, knock my door down, and take my free couch, because you can have it. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the thing when people look at what a person has to put the value of who they are on them. So this person and me spent more than a year together, and then they left town due to work and everything else and came back. And then I went through a storm, and then this person just boom, and I know the person loves me. There's no if, ands, or anything about it. There's none of that. I know the person is loyal when it comes to being with someone. That I do know, because he doesn't have the capacity to do something to someone he doesn't want done to him. He doesn't have that in him. So I am thankful to even be connected to a person with a moral compass as his. But I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you something that people don't realize. The little things you do. I spent about 2 years in this man's life, and I never put my mouth on him, and he never put his mouth on me. And I felt nothing but love, cherished, everything, because those boundaries were never there. Now, I'm not saying that you should be with someone and you don't put your mouth on them. I'm saying you need to be a certain place to be doing certain things to people, because not everybody should have access to everything you have. They just shouldn't, and that's just it. So I promise you, I was married to my husband, and I don't know if I kissed him after the marriage. So there goes that. So there was other marital things that I did not do. So I'm not being nasty either, because life is life. Let's get real, okay? If you don't like it, then just get the hell out the room. Anyway, so this person came to my home, and we was laughing, just we were in here one minute, we were in there, we were in here. So, but then there came a time when the person came close to me and asked me, can I just do something? And I'm looking at the person, and I'm like, wow, you said a whole lot without saying anything. And he was just now coming back to New York. So obviously he had a whole year out there, because I had to walk away. He had a whole year. So then he was in here and just moving and shaking a certain type of way. And I'm just looking, but I was tired. That sleep, this thing I have, I was tired. So I'm like, actually looking at like, you leaving anytime soon? Because the light's going off and you're not staying. Absolutely. It was like 7 o'clock. I was tired. But then the person just leaned, came over, and whatever, and said, can you just kiss it? Oh my gosh. Boys and girls, when I tell you, there was nothing, there was no fight. There was no nothing. I just looked and I said one simple thing. Now you do know who you're standing in front of, right? We don't have those things going on in our lives. And next, I was asleep and the person was gone. Now the phone rang. I had a nice conversation, but it was not about that, because the understanding was clearly there. But see, this person is from a background that is not allowed in their culture. So that's another reason why this person was a blessing to me. But this person left town and ended up getting in cahoots with somebody that obviously was playing Adam and Eve and was playing with that apple. So I said to myself, the only thing I could do was ask God to just kindly put space between us, because we can no longer be friends. Because you've been somewhere, and wherever you've been, it's not welcome here. So that's why I tell you, I'm good. I'm good. Yesterday, this woman was on Facebook. She was crying and crying and crying and crying. And all I could do is say to myself, I can't watch this video because I just went through the crying. But she was angry because someone put her in a position to say yes when she wanted to say no. So I had to completely remove myself away from the video, because I already understood the dynamics. And it is what it is. But people, places, and things. But boys and girls, I'm going to tell you something. I'm having the best day ever. The best day ever. I wish I could watch my TV and record my YouTube video at the same time. Because if you get to see, listen to some of what I listen to on TV and laugh. I had a show pop up. It's a comedy. I think it's called Unlovable, or something like that. I said I need to write that show and ask them, can I join that show? I said, because I'm definitely unlovable. I don't have the mental capacity to play in a sandbox. I just don't. But as a Libra, I'm sick and tired because I will let you hang yourself. Hang yourself. Just keep hanging yourself until I go boom. And then you're sorry. You shouldn't be sorry now. I gave you lots of hints before. But I need to turn this phone on. But I don't want to turn the phone on because I don't want to see a number in my phone. So my phone's going to stay off. But it's time to make that call. I don't think that's the number. I think that's the number. I think that's the number. Thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, thumbs up, and thumbs down. Everything's welcome. Love you all. Bye-bye.